Let's talk about this with Kate Hardcastle, who is a retail analyst and joins us from our Leeds studio. Good to see you, Kate, and a Happy New Year. Not such a Happy New Year, is it, for those retailers getting all this stock back? It's presumably quite a problem for them.
Well, Happy New Year to you both, and absolutely, you're quite right to point out that online retail is often seen as this triumphant part of the sector that has been very successful, where bricks and mortar has really struggled over the last decade. But if you dig deeper and start looking into online retail businesses, operationally they have huge costs, and one is particularly because we have greater returns, greater opportunities as a consumer to return because of the way our consumer rights are protected with online shopping. And therefore, many of us have just since the very start of online shopping accepted that we can return goods, and we do buy often extra sizes, extra colours, with the full knowledge we're going to return. And returns can really be in excess of 40%, which is significant for these businesses.
It's really interesting because you draw the comparison between the high street and online shops, and the Royal Mail study found that returns to online stores as high as 50%, whereas for high street stores it's something between 5 and 10%. I suppose with sending stuff back by post, there's an environmental impact, isn't there? That has to be transported by air, by road and so on.
Absolutely, and I think also we're probably going through a different emotional state of buying when we're actually buying in a store. We can see the products, touch and feel it, and actually when we have to return it, we have to physically do it to another human. And if perhaps we want to get away with perhaps returning something that we might have decided we don't like, but we don't want the confrontation, it's easier to do when it's without the human side, the interface, and so sending it via online. Also, a lot of people get to this time of year and decide actually they need to start watching the pennies, and they start looking around thinking, well, did we use that item? Did we actually get the benefit out of it? Let's send that back. But every time we're returning goods, of course, there's an infrastructure behind sending it back, which includes drivers, distribution, network, operations. I mean, it's obviously great for the employment sector because we've seen huge rise in jobs there, but there is the environmental element of actually it's not that great for the environment to have all of this extra parcel floating around.
What's fascinating, Kate, is that there are entire industries, entire firms that now handle returns for some of the major retailers. It's got to that stage. It's extraordinary.
It's hardly surprising. A lot of the products sold, fast fashion items, and consumers want to have choice of size, choice of different products, so they can select just one item. And therefore, they're relying on that process. They find it easy and convenient to return. And that's why they're wanting to use those retailers. So to have the sunshine of the sales in the first place, the retailers are having to accept that online, they're probably going to see a heightened amount of returns. And of course, that needs a whole infrastructure to set that up.
Kate, it's Simon here. What is the worst present you received this Christmas?
I received so little because people know not to buy for a retail expert. I guess always a pair of Christmas socks which tend to end up in front of me, but I'm really pleased to say a lot of it went to charity donations, which is just a much better idea all round.
I think the worst...
I'm not going to bother next year then, right?
Not Christmas socks, thanks.
Kate's worst gift was an invitation to appear on with you, and she graciously accepted. So there's a lesson for us all. Kate, thank you very much. Kate Hardcastle there.